Yo, Elliot, I just joined the program this week. I'm excited to level up my game in life and become a stronger king. I'm 25 years old. I own an education business as my non-job, and I'm earning a relatively good income from it. However, I feel that I'm not enough. I was top A student at university. When I graduated, my friends started getting into medical and dental school and became doctors. But I chose to leave and start my business. I don't regret my choice, but right now I feel like my education is not enough and I'm applying to medical school. My problem though is in this journey is that I keep comparing myself to other classmates at university and feel like shit. All my friends who were less talented, less smarter than me already got accepted and are becoming doctors, but I still haven't become accepted to the schools. I got rejected from the program last year because it's very competitive to get into, and I'm reapplying this year. I won't hear back from them until May next year, and in the meantime, I'm really struggling to feel confident about myself and not compare myself to others. In case you're going to tell me to delete social media, I've already tried that and it didn't work. Still, I keep comparing myself with people that I can hear about in conversation with my friends and feel shitty about myself. How can I resolve this toxic feeling of jealousy and not being worthy enough within me? I want the confidence to come from within and take full control of my thoughts and emotions, and I don't feel envious of my friends who are the same age as me but more ahead in their career. Thank you. So the very first thing I would invite you to do is read a book called The Millionaire Next Door. In this book, he documents the rise and lifestyle of the average millionaire in America. And there are a few interesting things that he asserts through his study of the millionaire next door. Most millionaires in America are not doctors, they're not lawyers, they're not the professionals. And in fact, the reason why is because most of those people are deeply in debt. The most millionaires in America are people that own their own small businesses. Guys like electricians, guys like plumbers, guys like builders, guys like you who's starting your little education business. But one of the things he asserts in the book and reminds the reader is that there's a trade-off, and it's a time trade-off. What he says is that those who go into the professions, they earn money first while their entrepreneur counterparts go broke. So for the first 10 years, say from 25 to 35, all your friends that went into the professions, they get a salary, right? They got their job, they get the salary, they got to work, and they got to pay off their debts. But the entrepreneur for the first 10 years, he's not doing so well. He's not making all that money. He's grinding, he's trying, he's making his way until there's a swap. And at 35, the doctor, the lawyer, the professional is in debt up to his eyeballs because he's a young man that's making a lot of money. Plus, he's paying off a whole lot of school loans. But when you give a 25-year-old man, between 25 and 30-year-old man, a salary, a six-figure salary, you know what he does? He goes and gets a car. He goes and gets a house. He goes and gets himself into a whole lot of debt. So what happens is at about 35, when that switch happens, the guy who was building his business, who wasn't spending money, wasn't getting into debt, but was grinding away at building himself up, he's in a better position than the doctor. And I can tell you this from my own personal experience. I grew up with a lot of people way smarter than me. They got really good jobs, better jobs than me. And a funny thing happened. In the early stages, he was broke. They were making more money. I would see them. I remember them because I would see it on Facebook too. You said delete social media. Well, I wasn't hanging out on social media, but I see them. I'm like, oh, wow, this guy's doing real well. Look at that. He got that nice job. Oh, he got that nice house. It must be nice. But I kept grinding away because I read that book and I knew, right? It was good that I read that book. I knew. I was like, okay, it's just going to be a matter of time till the tables turn. Then, as was described to the letter, at age 35, old Uncle E hit the top of his game, and I'm making more money. I got more fame. I got a nicer life. I got more momentum. I got more potential than those dudes that stuck. You know why? They don't make any more in their careers. They started out with six figures, and guess what they do? They stay at six figures. I started out at 5 figures, 4 figures, and guess what? I have unlimited potential. I can keep going. So to get the ball rolling a little slower for you, And as a result, you're looking at them and you want what they have, and you applying to medical school. But you know what? There's a good reason why you're not getting in, because God knows that's not for you. Don't go to that medical school, man, in my opinion. In my opinion, you signing up to be a medical slave. When you're a professional in this country and you have to have professional licenses, check out all these doctors. We were talking about American frontline doctors. There's a lot of these doctors that have lost their license because they're not following the narrative with CV-19. They're not going along with the narrative because they have dignity and they're studying and they're paying attention. But guess what happens? Because they have an institutionalized career, they have to rely on the board to give them their due. I'm just using myself as an example. I can say or do whatever I want. I don't rely on anybody's license, right? I rely on whether or not people are interested in what I have to say. Even me, when I seem a little bit wild, there's going to be people that won't listen to me, that don't like me, that want to turn away, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm not a slave to them, because somebody's going to benefit from what I have to say. But when you're a doctor, you can't do that. You gotta follow the party line, or they're going to shut you up. Nobody's going to shut me up. YouTube could shut me down, but nobody could shut me up. And that's the kind of place you want to be in. My opinion, it's not even a comparison thing. You're comparing yourself, but you're comparing yourself with the wrong glasses on. You're not seeing the big picture. There's nothing wrong with comparing yourself. It's good to look around and see what's happening around you. That's okay. But you're not seeing the big picture. You're seeing what they're getting now, not realizing what's going to happen down the road. Down the road, you're going to bypass them. You got to be patient, bro. That's my advice to you. Stick with what you're doing. You say you have a relatively good income from your non-job. Well, why isn't it an extraordinary good income? It might take you some time, but stick with it. Why give up on your education business and your non-job here at 25 because your friends are getting cushy slave jobs? Keep doing what you're doing. Stay on the path that you're on, bro. I think you're going to make it work. I have a good sense for you. I have good hope for you that you're going to make this work, dude. Just don't quit too early because your friends are running in a rat race. Leave the rat race alone. Don't get in more debt, like going to school and taking a job where you become a slave. Stay free. Done.
Yo, it's your bro Elliot. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, you ought to know that it was a clip from one of my most recent King Transformation classes with my students, where, among other things, we get together about 4 or 5 hours a week and we speak on things as it relates to becoming kings in our lives in fitness, business, and with women. If that sounds like you and you want to join a like-minded group of men who are growing stronger every day in every way in this degenerate age, then it's real simple. Just follow me on Instagram and then DM me the word king, K-I-N-G, and then me and my team will get back to the details to see if you qualify. I really hope to see you at the next meeting. Done.